The biggest news of the day, 100%, is a death that happened yesterday over the weekend in the world of Hollywood. And that is the death of Rob Reiner. This was a very shocking thing. Anytime you see anybody die, this was a very shocking thing. Flash, I know you talked about it on you made a video about it. Why don't you give us a quick like TLDR of what you've heard?
Yeah, so it was reported sometime last night, because I didn't find out about it till this morning, that Rob Reiner and his wife were stabbed to death. Their throats were cut. No forced entry. The daughter found them. I don't know exactly when, but his son is in custody. And I don't think we have formal charges, but we know he's on a $4 million bail. So I don't know exactly what he's charged with, but there's gang activity being kicked around on this. His son is an addict, a junkie. And there was a report of them fighting at the Conan O'Brien party over the weekend. But that gang activity thing is really curious. I wonder if he owes a bunch of money to some gang and maybe he was trying to take money. I mean, that's alleged speculation, but yeah, it's a fucked up situation, especially people celebrating it. I don't want to live in a world like this.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that for sure. Okay, so a little bit of background here when it comes to Rob Reiner. For those who may not be familiar, it's the guy in the thumbnail today, right there, Bingo Bongo. Okay, his filmography is quite extensive. Extremely talented guy who, if you've probably seen a movie of his. I mean, there's Spinal Tap. You go all the way back to the beginning here. And he had some sheer classics in here. This is back in 94. He worked on a lot of stuff. Worked on The Jerk. Let me scroll here real fast. Let's see. He worked on Andy Griffith. Really? That's crazy.
He worked on Batman. I saw that.
That's nuts. Beverly Hillbillies, and his filmography in particular, Rockford Files right there. All these are look, if you look at the things here, Odd Couple, Rockford Files, All in the Family, Archie Bunker's Place. These are like major cultural shows that he worked on here. The Jerk, he was uncredited. I didn't realize that he was an actor in that, but he was in The Jerk because his dad helped direct it. Do you know who his dad is? Blabs, do you have any? Oh, if I showed you his dad, you would 100% know.
It's all in the family.
Well, let me just show you.
He's usually Hollywood is.
Oh, yeah, very much so. So Rob Reiner's dad was Carl Reiner. And Carl Reiner, you ever seen Ocean's 11?
Yeah, I'm actually watching it like the other day. That's so weird.
Yes.
I'm doing it all. I'm on the last one right now, halfway done with it.
Yep, because his dad is this guy. He's the
his dad is Saul?
Yep, his dad is Saul.
Fuck?
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, this guy, ridiculously talented. And he created culture. I mean, major culture. And it's obviously senseless to think of the things that happened here. Just silly to think about. You look at all the different movies that he did the Bucket List. That was kind of a fun little story. North. Oh man, my brother loved North. A Few Good Men. When Harry Met Sally.
He was the doctor in the First Wives Club, the one who's supposed to inject Goldie Hawn's lips and everything. He's like, don't do it. She's like, fill it up and everything. Like, that's him. He was also married to Penny Marshall at one point, which is Gary Marshall's sister. And he did a lot of movies himself too, Gary Marshall and Penny as well. So
Blabs.
Yeah, crazy.
Princess Bride.
Yeah. I'm not the biggest fan of Princess Bride actually, but like it's more for me. Harry Met Sally is one of my favorites. I love that one.
A Few Good Men is really good. I like that movie.
A great movie.
Yeah.
So allegedly, all signs point to his son is the one who literally killed him and his wife. I guess the son killed his dad and his mom, which is like the most demonic thing you could possibly consider, right? And by all accounts, this guy, look, regardless of his politics, like whatever, right? The idea that his son came in and literally murdered him allegedly is pretty fucked up. They actually went out and Rob Reiner made a movie that was inspired by his son, and this was them on the tour, a promotional tour, talking about it in 2016.
We didn't bond a lot as a kid. Like, he really liked baseball. I liked basketball, and he could watch that with my brother, but baseball. But I just, when I saw him do that, and it was something that I'm interested in, I was like, wow, like, he really knows a lot, and like, it made me feel closer to him and be like, yeah.
You're like, wow, my dad's Rob Reiner.
I never had thought about it, and then
Yeah, it didn't cross your mind, right?
never.
Never watched A Few Good Men. You can see that one.
He looks crazy.
You look at him, he doesn't look like he looks like he doesn't want to be there. It looks like the answers that he's giving are the kind of answers where you're being very curt. You have so much more to say, and it's in contrary to what you want to say, but you're doing a press tour and it's for a movie that you make money off of, so you're not going to say a damn word. But it looks like he really had a lot more to say on the subject, and in contrary to what he was saying.
Okay, so
Well, there's some breaking news, actually. Nick Reiner's son has been arrested and is in custody.
wow. Okay, so
Yeah,
This
he's been in custody for a few hours.
Oh, I didn't see that. Here,
Yep.
private chat for you.
there you go. Bail set at $4 million. Now, this is the picture.
Oh, boy.
This is the picture that you're continuously seeing of this kid, right?
What are the actual charges? It just says arrested in connection. What is he actually charged with?
I don't know if we know that yet, but Blab, see if you can find that while we're talking here. Let me just kind of
It
give you a
says
little.
booked for murder.
Okay.
Oof. Okay. Yikes. Okay.
Yikes, indeed.
But this is the image here of that we're constantly seeing of this, and I found another image of him, which I don't know if this is accurate, but I'll tell you what, man. This is what you saw from the video about 2016. So this is the images that we're seeing. I think a picture says 1,000 words. This is him today,
Damn.
right? This is
He's
the
going
image.
through his old Max phase.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he looks like he's a member of Hell's Angels here, and he's looking, like you look like you've been through some shit. He's got, if that's accurate, if this is him today, something happened, between here and here. I'm just saying, Tom Segura? No, I don't know.
So it is confirmed that the youngest daughter did find the bodies. Romy.
Okay.
That's also tragic. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes
Yeah,
without saying.
she lives across the street with her family, so got the little kids, man. They don't have a grandfather anymore. It's terrible.
Yikes.
I mean, it goes without saying that this is horrible, right? We all understand that. And a lot of people we know politically he's said a lot of stuff. He's been a big activist for a long time. And I think this is a really great magnifying glass. It's been pointed out, not by me, but by many, many people online, you yourself included, Flash, the reaction to this of people who don't think like Rob Reiner are saying, wow, that's fucking horrible. Like nobody, very few, I'm not gonna say nobody, very few people are going out and celebrating the death of somebody who doesn't agree with them politically. You do see some knuckleheads out there saying things like that, but I think this is a great example of, a few months ago, did we see riots when Charlie Kirk was killed? No, unlike in 2020 or whatever, right? Are we seeing people celebrating this online? Are we seeing news stations talk and pundits talk about what a giant piece of shit Rob Reiner was? No, we're not, right? We're seeing people who are being sympathetic to the situation with way more sympathy and way more empathy than what you saw just a few months ago. And I think that, further shows the idea that someone who is this party of empathy and sympathy is just a bunch of bullshit when it comes to it. Speaking of, Rob Reiner was asked about the murder of Charlie Kirk on Piers Morgan's show. And Flash, I know you played this earlier today, but I think it's important to show that Rob Reiner, as disconnected as he was to reality in some cases.
I think it's terrible that such a large portion of our country celebrates death. And it's
I'm
the
with
left
you.
and the right too. Because there are people that are, saying some stupid shit. It's like, I think it goes back to some shit you learn as a kid, right? If you don't have anything to say, don't say anything.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Like when I don't like Dick Cheney, and when he died, I just didn't say anything.
Yeah. Why celebrate it? Why? It doesn't make any sense at all. But Rob Reiner was not celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk.
When you first heard about the murder of Charlie Kirk, what was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror, absolute horror. And I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service, at the memorial they had, was exactly right. And totally, I believe, I'm Jewish, but I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in doing to others, and I believe in forgiveness. And what she said to me was beautiful and absolutely, she forgave his assassin, and I think that is admirable.
Flash, some folks in our chat are saying, who's celebrating? Show us proof that some people are celebrating. I know you had a video earlier today of some knuckleheads. You mentioned you saw.
There's people posting on mine. There's some people using that South Park thing where he's oozing the green stuff, that goo.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Sticks and Hammer posting some stuff. I mean, you can find it. Go look for it. Not hard.
Yeah,
it's just not as big as the left was when it was happening with Charlie Kirk. But
yeah.
So there's multiple layers to this that we don't know. We don't know this is an ongoing thing, and that's the one thing about doing a show like this live while there's an investigation that's happening. There's a lot of talk about misinformation or factual. We don't know what's happening. We're just seeing what we're seeing, and then we're talking about it as it's going. We're a podcast, not a news outlet. But one of the things that has been thrown out there is, well, multiple things. You mentioned the gang aspect of this, the gang activity here. This is LAPD could not confirm to Variety whether Nick Reiner is in custody related to the homicide investigation into the deaths of Rob and Michelle, but listed Nick's booking description as, quote, gang activity, right? Now, there's that. And then TMZ is also reporting that Rob and his son got into a heated argument at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party over the weekend. Now, could that have escalated over to what happened? Sure. I mean, absolutely. Mitsu, what are your thoughts on seeing this?
I can't believe it, honestly. We talked about it a little bit in the pre-show, bringing up to everything. But Stand By Me was such a great movie. A Few Good Men, we were talking about that a little while ago. I can't believe that, he's Hollywood royalty. And it makes me concerned a little bit more for Hollywood royalty in general. Like, you see this happen every couple of years where there's this big celebrity, I don't want to say like exodus from life, but like really bad things start happening very noticeably to celebrities. I remember back in 2016 when Alan Rickman passed away that year, and there's a whole bunch of celebrity passings that year. And I think back even further to when I was a kid, my dad would tell me about, I think her name was like Natalie Wood, and that story, and Phil Hartman and that story, and all the time. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, it's just so tragic when these things happen, especially to such prolific and passionate people about their craft. And it makes me happy, at least, that, the vast majority of people, well, that people are taking a much more measured stance towards how they're responding to this tragedy. Because I do remember what happened with Charlie Kirk, and we talked about this when Charlie Kirk passed away, was murdered. We should say it that way. When Charlie Kirk was murdered, we talked about this. I was like, when I was a kid, when I was like 10, 11 years old, Drew Barrymore's house burned down, and I was like, ha ha, the lib's house burned down. And my dad, who was ultra conservative, was like, don't do that. Don't make fun of somebody's house burning down, even if you disagree with them, because that can be revisited on you. And that always stuck with me, even for passings like this. You don't disagree with them, but don't bring that pain down on them because it can be revisited on you, and you don't want that. You don't want
Base dad right there. Base dad.
Thank you.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, this took place in Brentwood in California. Does anybody here have, like, the last time I remember hearing the phrase Brentwood was another noticeable murder? Anybody remember this house here? This is the former estate of O.J. Simpson.
I was gonna say it. That's
Yes.
what is it? That's where Nicole Brown was found, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that angle now.
When I heard Brentwood, I was like, oh shit, like that's fucking bizarre, and this happening again. So yes, he has officially, by the way, been booked for murder. There's a press conference, yes, via BBC. They have a video here of it being booked for murder. Do you guys want to see the reaction of this real fast? Just see him saying this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Bland. As he said, the information at this stage is still limited, but I'll share what we can. First of all, our hearts go out to the family and friends of the Reiners, a tragic incident. Yesterday at December 14th, about 3:40 in the afternoon, LAPD responded to a residence, the residence of Rob and Michelle Reiner, located in West Los Angeles Division. At that location, they found two deceased adults, a male and a female. Through the night, working with the coroner's office, they were able to identify them definitively as Rob and Michelle Reiner. We have our robbery homicide division handling the investigation. They worked throughout the night on this case and were able to take into custody Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case. He was subsequently booked for murder and is being held on $4 million bail. Pretty much that's what I can share at this point.
I can't imagine being a father and the last thing you see is your son coming at you with a fucking knife.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
Try to mentally put yourself in his shoes. And this is somebody that you've raised. You've gone out of your way to try to help, who's had issues with drugs. You try to get him on his feet. And the last thing you see is, I think of that Blabs, see if you can find there was a comic that George made when that girl got stabbed in the neck on the train. And it was a pretty viral image, but that's what I think of, if he had his fucking throat slashed by his son, like how evil can you be? Like that is the depths of fucking hell that have found its way into your soul if you're willing to kill your father. And like, think about this. He didn't just like kill his father. He killed his mom too. And so someone was killed. Then he had to make the conscious effort. Well, I did one. I better do both. That's fucked up. Don't even understand it. Don't understand it. We'll never understand it. And scary stuff. Live, did you find anything?
Yeah, I put it in the private chat for you.
Well, I don't.
You were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you, and I put in the document too.
Just share your screen next time. Okay.
Fine.
Thank you. But this is it right here. This is what I think of, right? This is that girl who got stabbed in the neck, and the last thing she sees is her fucking, blood running down her shirt and stuff and tears.
Oh, God.
Like that's fucking it's powerful. So like, my God, that's the saddest fucking way I could potentially think of dying. Unbelievable. The response has been all over the place. And look, sometimes I think it's important just to fucking say this is really fucking dumb. And I think this is not the best look when it comes to our current administration. Blabs, you want to read this off?
Yeah, all right. So this is from Trump on Truth Social. I personally don't like what he has to say. Anyway,
Yeah, this is a terrible take.
It's
I
a
agree.
huge L. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured, struggling, but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his rage and obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. Now, there were rumors about this saying that it's fake, but no, this is actually legit because I went to his Truth Social post and I saw it there because there's always those rumors.
What a mess.
Yeah. Well, and you see the response here, you know, even Jeremy, who's the biggest Trump guy I've ever met in my entire life, says terrible response, read the room. And I think he's right. There's George. Sometimes it's best not to say anything. Congman, horrific response. Savvy, disagree with this. I don't know how you can look at that and be like, yeah, that was a good response right there. I think this, like, what you could do here when it comes to a response like that is like he
basically made it all about himself. It's like, how do you do that? You have no partake in this whatsoever.
That is the magic of El Presidente. And in some ways, he will say he had a thing about it because he'll be like, oh, well, Rob Reiner came after me, so it's okay.
But like, this is how you get people arguing all the time. You just can't shut up. Like, damn it, Trump.
I think, you know what he could have just said is,
may they rest in peace. Done.
He could have said the top right here and the bottom right there. And that's pretty much it. And that would have been just a fine statement. You know, it would have been just fine. Jennifer Say, friend of our show, came in. Seriously, no. Why? Such a terrible tragedy. Not at all okay to talk like this. Stop. Nina Infinity, also friend of the show. Trump's statement about Rob Reiner is a reflection of our time. The fact that people can't separate someone's politics from being an actual person they were. Identity politics is literally this, not being able to separate politics from someone's identity. I'm just glad to see that the response from MAGA has been to reject this statement from Trump right here. So, yeah, man, this whole thing is sad. And the worst part about it is that that statement is actually going to take the focus off. Like, it's going to take the focus off of what really matters here, is that there are going to be children, there are kids, there are grandkids who's not going to have a granddad because fucking Looney Tune decided to slash their fucking throats. And how fucking grisly. That's so grisly, so gross.
Think about the siblings' perspectives too. Like, their monster sibling allegedly murdered their parents. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, and that was the other thing, is one of the sisters was saying that the son was, quote, dangerous, like that he should be a suspect because of that. That's some gross stuff, man. Gross. But I don't know what you can say to that outside of, man, that's really fucked up. And his work is culture. So much of his work is culture. Memorable movies, memorable lines from movies, the way it was shot. I know, Blabs, you said you're not a big fan of The Princess Bride, but
I'm not as big a fan as like everyone else. It's not it's a great movie. I have nothing against it. I'm just not like, whoa, that's my favorite. That's not me.
Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally, The American President, Misery. Oh my God. A Few Good Men, The Princess Bride, The Sure Thing. I mean, banger after banger after banger right there. And look, did I agree with them on things? No. Do you want to see somebody like that dead? No. I heard somebody talking about how, like, disagreement is what makes where we live. The fact that you can disagree with somebody and you're not going to get shot over it or stabbed over it or had your throat slit over it. And once again, that's not what happened here, right? But it still shouldn't be celebrated by somebody you don't disagree with. I don't think that's that crazy of a take. And if it is a crazy of a take, I don't want to live in that world if that's a crazy take. So Flash, Mitsu, anything to close that out?
Oh, you said it all, man. It's not the kind of world I want to live in where we're celebrating people dying. I will say this though. I do get sad though on the flip side when people say rest in power. Let him rest in peace, man. We're not here to start any more fights after somebody dies. We're just here to let them and their memory rest in peace for all the work that they did when they were here. So let Rob Reiner and his wife rest in peace.
I will personally give you a high five if you subscribe. I will not actually give you a high five if you subscribe.